What is going on out there, peeps? All right, I haven't talked about the Vietnam Dong in a while because I had a feeling that once this administration got in there, the types of pressure that we would need would not be applied, unlike the previous administration. So we will get into that here in just a second. But again, their economy continues to thrive, but there's other things that could be interfering. So again, we'll cover that. If you guys are thinking about buying precious metals, give a consideration to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down in the description. If you are a first-time buyer here in the United States or in Puerto Rico and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. Return buyers, if you're spending more than $500, you will automatically get a quarter ounce of silver. Very nice. As you guys know, we got Pimpy's Investment Chat on Facebook. It's a group you guys can join for free. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Feel free to stop on by. You guys know I have this alternative channel called The Hidden Things in Front of Your Eyes. Over here, I just dropped another article about the real QFS and that it has already launched. So if you want to go check it out, go over there. In The Hidden Things in Front of Your Eyes, the link is down in the description. I encourage you to come over there and join because there's some other interesting stories that are going on out there in the news that you guys might be missing. All right, so I just wanted to share that with you. Again, the NESARA GESARA QFS has launched. It's launched. Go check it out. So here's the problem. Just like the Iraqi dinar, I heard many times that they were going to go ahead and just revalue the Vietnam Dong. So I can see why. At one time, it was really a high value currency, and then all of a sudden it dropped back down. And there's some manipulation going on with this currency, and for a lot of reasons. Trump is going after countries that had been manipulating their currencies so that they can have advantages over the United States or even other countries. He wanted to stop that from happening. He wanted a level playing field. Unfortunately, he was up against a huge dynamic. That dynamic being corporations. Their deep pockets and their abilities to bribe our politicians into passing laws that definitely benefit them and their corporate buddies, but hurt the American people. Trump had it going on. These guys were listed as a currency manipulator, not once, not twice, but they've been on 3 reports. After 3 reports, tariffs are supposed to come in. Unfortunately for us, what happened was the Biden administration got in there, and I told you Biden is part of this globalist agenda. So he is not going to do anything to penalize Vietnam except for talk a good talk. There's too many major companies that are over there, like Apple and so forth. So he's not going to do anything to rock the boat of these major corporations. He just is not going to do that. So he's not going to implement any at all. You're not going to see any types of tariffs. So look at this. The U.S. won't penalize Vietnam despite unreasonable currency practices. So we even knew it was unreasonable currency practices. Nothing. In a short statement, the U.S. Trade Representatives bats the trade dispute into the Biden administration. Again, Biden works for the CCP, and I'm sure the CCP, I thought, would definitely go after Vietnam, considering, they ended up with most of the jobs that China lost. But what I'm finding out is that China is really just trying to take over all those countries, so to them, it's no big deal. Nonetheless, since they control Biden, I'm sure this is why nothing has happened. In the final days of its time in the White House, the Trump administration has announced the results of a so-called Section 301 investigation into possible currency manipulation by the Vietnam's government. On January the 15th, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representatives announced its conclusion that Vietnam had taken action to push down the value of its currency, but shied away from imposing punitive tariffs. They've been on this list 3 damn times in a row. There's supposed to be penalties for this. Again, this doesn't benefit the American people. This hurts the American people. This is how much the current administration is in, and that political party don't give a crap about you. They sell out to the globalists, the corporate people, and them and the bankers and Wall Street and the judges are all part of the same crime syndicate. Vietnam's acts, policies, and practices, including excessive foreign exchange market interventions and other related actions taken in their totality of unreasonable and burden or restricted U.S. commerce. So, like I said, it's unreasonable and a burden. So it makes it very hard for the U.S. to compete against a lot of these countries because a lot of countries have manipulated their currencies so that they were lower. And if these currencies are lower, like what's going on in Iraq, that means the cost to do business in there is cheaper for the U.S. I mean, for companies inside the companies inside Vietnam. So you got people like Apple. They send they have the people over in Vietnam and West China now in Vietnam make these phones or whatever products they want. But the labor cost is so cheap. So what ends up happening is they get the product made extremely cheap. They ship it back over here in the United States. The United States sells the ridiculous product for $1,000 for a phone. It probably costs them $14 to have the whole damn phone done. That's how greedy these people are. The investigation was opened in October, along with a separate probe into Vietnam's import and use of illegal harvested timber. Remember, the timber business in Vietnam is booming right now. It marked the first time that the U.S. cited currency manipulation as a reason to investigate a trading partner under Section 301 of the 1974 Trade Act, the very same tool that the Trump administration used to erect its wall of tariffs against China's imports, which was the right thing to do. The USTR added this week's conclusion was based on consultation with the Department of Treasury, which in December officially labeled Vietnam a currency manipulator, accusing it of improperly intervening in foreign exchange markets to advantage its own exports. We know that's why they do it. We know that they're doing it. Again, it's just a matter of trying to get our government to do what's right for the American people and stop allowing other countries to manipulate their currency and cutting under American jobs. It's cheaper for people to outsource over to Vietnam and then bring the product back. Yeah, it's just hurting American jobs. That's not what you want. Unfair acts, policies, and practices that contribute to the currency undervaluation harms U.S. workers and businesses and need to be addressed. This is the U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer. Remember him? Said in the statement, his office added that the USTR is not taking any specific actions in connection with the findings at this time, but will continue to evaluate all available options. So they evaluated this to death. They beat it to death, and they found out that indeed these guys are manipulating the markets. But what good is a law if nobody is going to implement the penalties for the infractions? So again, you guys keep telling you not to pick on the people on the left, but look, whenever you're dealing with Republicans, Democrats, whatever, you'll notice that the Democrats don't give a crap about the American people. They never did. Okay? So instead, what's going on? They'll do whatever it takes to fatten their pockets, and they'll pass policies, procedures that benefit the globalists. They always have. One of the things they do is keep the currencies low in different countries for a reason. Then they send their corporate people in there to start businesses. They hire locals, and then they undercut other American jobs that are here that are not outsourcing. People will hire Americans to do the job. So we have been waiting for some time for something to happen in Vietnam. We knew they had made the currency manipulation, and we were waiting for them to do what was necessary to adjust the value. How much that is, it's hard to say, but we were waiting. And we waited, and then the election came, and now a new administration's in there, and nothing is being done. We still have other things that we can keep our eye on, just like they do in Iraq, which is the economy. The only problem is it doesn't do any good if the country is manipulating the currency, keeping the value low, and our government does nothing about it. Since its inception, the investigation had faced opposition from the American businesses in Vietnam. See what I mean? Hey, you're affecting these big corporations' profits. Okay, whatever. And has created frictions with a nation that is increasingly closer partner of Washington as it seeks to push back against China's ambition in the East and Southeast Asia. So that was the other thing I was talking about. The only reason why these guys were getting away with manipulation during the Trump administration was the fact that Trump was using them during his trade war with China. And I felt like, he didn't want to do anything to rock the boat, so to speak, and so he just allowed them to continue to do this. So I've been watching these articles. I've been watching about how great the economy continues to do, although they got hit magically with a wave of coronaviruses, but they are rebounding from that, and they are setting records on the stock market, which tells me what? There is a lot of positive feeling about the economy in Vietnam. Now, they could be manipulated like they're here in the United States. I'm not sure. But when I look at the 2019 numbers compared to 2020 numbers compared to 2019, you can see why the GDP and the growth in the economy was real. Nonetheless, I told you guys I would do a video on Vietnam. I have been watching a lot of the news on them and their economies. But really, I've been just looking for anything and everything to be done by the Biden administration. Are they going to start helping American people out? No, they're not. Where did he learn that? In the first 2 weeks in his office, in the reversal of executive orders that eliminated 1.2 million jobs. Man, let's keep our fingers crossed that something positive happens in the near future here. But for now, it doesn't look like we're going to get any kind of help from the Biden administration. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean I'm saying that nothing is going to happen. What I'm saying is, as far as pressure from the United States to help make this happen a little bit quicker than normal. Anyways, that's it for now. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.